So in our today's in continuation to the previous lectures, so let us discuss something about some more topics in this principles of mechanics and force system. It's in one of C18 curriculum of diploma. Right, let us see what the discuss topics we are going to discuss today. So that is nothing but the theorem of moments. So these are very important. These theorems and principles of moments. So very fundamental basics, principles and theorems which are useful for each and every part of your engineering. I mean, especially in civil engineering sectors, especially an analysis part. They are very important. Almost everywhere we will get the analysis part. These are applicable. These are fundamental theorems as well as principles that are used in analysis of civil engineering structures everywhere almost. Okay, so fundamentals, very fundamentals. So very need to be very much cautious about these principles and you have to remember every time. Okay, so without this, no civil engineering analysis, right? Structural analysis is not important at all, not at all is possible, right? And let us solve some more problems on these moments using these theorems, as well as let us answer another topic, that is find the resultant of a system of like coplanar forces and its line of action. Okay, so where it acts means it's a system of like parallel forces. How to find the resultant and if it is where its resultant falls. Okay, that is we have to calculate. And similarly, unlike parallel force, also same thing. Finding the resultant and position of this line of action of this resultant force. And let us recap. Or let us uh, what we need to prerequisites for the to learn these topics. These are the prerequisites we need to know. So what is like this moment of force? We need to know what is the moment of force and how to calculate the moment of force means my measurement of minute of force. You need to be know, right. And next one is the resultant of system of force. How to find the resultant, right? And single force which produces the same effect as that of combined force or that is, of course, is a resultant definition. This resultant is nothing but a single force which will give the same effect as a combined system of forces. And coplanar forces, what is a coplanar force, what is a parallel force, and what is our like parallel, what is unlike parallel, right? So the and again acting in the same plane, so we need to know it. And let us start the today's topic, actual topics, right? So theorem of moments. So theorem of moments is nothing but, so there are two or three theorems are there. So let us discuss one by one. Right. So first one is, so for example, already we have discussed moment of force, how to calculate the moment of force. So what is the moment of force? Moment of force or moment is equal to force into perpendicular distance. Right. So force into perpendicular distance, that is nothing but moment or moment of force. Right. So if a point about which we need a moment to be calculated, and if that lies on the line of action on the force, then d becomes 0. Right. So for example, I will take a simple diagram here. Right. Right. So this is, let us say, point A, and this is point B. Right. A force is acting here. A force is acting here. Let us say this force is yes. Right. So I want the moment about point A. Right. Due to this force. Due to the force F. What is the moment at A? It's nothing but what is the moment? Moment of force or moment is equal to force into perpendicular distance. Right. So force is, what is the force here? Force is acting F. Right. So what is the perpendicular distance? So we need the moment about this point only, and the force is also passing through the point. Means this point is lies on the line of action of the force. Right. If that point lies on the line of action of the force, the distance becomes 0. The perpendicular or distance becomes 0. So in that case, what happens? Moment to moment becomes F into 0. That is nothing but 0. That's what. If a point about which moment is to be calculated, and if that lies on the line of action of force, then distance is equal to 0. When the distance is equal to 0, moment is equal to F into 0. Again, one more thing, one correction. Right, this is a not moment. This is a, sorry, just a minute. This is moment, not movement. Okay, so this is moment. Let us go to start. Right. So this moment is equal to F into 0. That is not equal to 0. So this is called as the first theorem of moments. What is this? What is the first theorem of moment states? It states that the moment of a force about a point, the moment of force means moment about a point which lies on its line of action is 0. Okay. The moment produced by a force which passes through the point about which we need the moment, then that moment becomes 0. That's what this theorem of first moment states, right? So shall we, I will repeat it. So for example, if you take, we have taken this, the moment, the same thing I will apply at this point. The moment of force about a point, let us say this point, about a point, which lies on its line of action, which is lying on this line of action is 0. That's what I meant. The moment of force about a point which lies on its line of action is 0. Right? That's what you are saying thing we are discussing. Here it is, this point A is lying on the line of action of force F on this line itself. Right? So that's why what happens, that's why this will become 0. Why becoming 0 means distance becomes 0. Okay. Then when this point is passing to the, when that force is passing to the, means R, that need not be force passing to the point means even that point lies on the line of action of the force, then the distance becomes 0, perpendicular distance. Obviously, once a perpendicular distance becomes 0 means moment is equal to what? Force into perpendicular distance. So that the force into distance is 0. Force in 0 into a force in nothing but 0. That's why this moment becomes 0. That's what the same thing that was put it in words. So it states that the moment of force about a point which lies on its line of action is 0. Right. So that's what this first theorem of moments. This is called the first theorem of moments. So please remember first theorem of moments. Right. So not only this, anywhere, not only this point example, it can be any, there can be any number of examples. So it can be whenever this force is passing to the point. Okay, force is passing to the point about which we need the moment, same point about which we need the moment, then that is moment becomes 0. That's what the first theorem of moments, right? So be careful, you have to remember forever. So wherever it is there, just it is, don't say that force into moment is equal to force into distance. Okay, force into distance only, but in some cases that distance becomes 0, right? So that's why it is, you have to be careful. So let us say it is about, but whereas if you take this point, if you take the moment about this point, so moment about this point, what, how much? The force into this perpendicular distance. Okay, in that case it is not 0 because it is, we are calculating the moment about the point B, not the A. So in this case, there is a distance. The distance does not become 0. So in this case, it will create some moment. Okay, right. So this is about first theorem of moment. And let us go to the second one. Very, very important again. Of course, all theorems are very fundamental. Everywhere we need it in analysis part. So you have to be, you have to remember always. Okay. So this is one more second one. The second theorem of moment, also called as Varignan's theorem, states that. Right. So some cases, what happens? We have seen the system of forces. Right. So we have seen a system of forces where all these forces can be replaced by a single force that we call it as calling it as a resultant, right? So when a system of forces are acting, then if it is that single force which replaces all the forces, right, in that system, but the effect without changing its effect is called the resultant, right? So when that resultant, here it is related to both resultant as well as the system of forces, that Varignan's theorem. So what it states, that I will read out. So when a number of forces act on a body, the algebraic sum of moments of all the forces about any point in their plane will be equal to the moment of their resultant about the same point. Okay, everything shall be in same plane, right? Not in different plane. So all these are related to only coplanar forces we are talking about, right? So in this means when a number of forces, means in a number of forces acting on a body, then that shall have a resultant. Okay, if it is not an equilibrium, that will have the resultant, right? If that resultant is there, so there are forces are there, their resultant is there, two parts, right? When we are, now it come to the moments. If at all we want, calculate a moment about any one point in that plane. Okay, right? Having all these forces, we want to calculate a moment of forces about any point in their plane will be equal to, means moment of this plane equal to moment created by all these forces lying on that system or same plane, in that system of forces lying in the same plane. Moment created by all these individual forces is equal to moment created by resultant force. That's what is the Varignan theorem is. Means I will explain once again. The moment produced by all these forces in a system of forces is algebraic sum. Again, remember, algebraic sum of all these moments. Okay. So some, because in a system of forces, some create field force in clockwise, some forces will create anti-clockwise direction. So it means that it should have it's nothing but algebraic sum of forces. The number of forces which creates the moment, the algebraic sum of all the moments created by forces, individual forces, is equal to the moment created by the resultant, moment produced by resultant. Both will be equal. Okay, because already we know that what is the resultant? It is a single force which has same effect as the system of forces. Obviously, then the system of forces, it will representing this, all these forces are represented by single force, right? So when in that case, obviously that resultant also, that moments also shall be equal. That's what is Varignan's theorem states. Okay, so when a number of forces act on a body, the algebraic sum of moments of all forces about any point in their plane will be equal to the moment of their resultant about the same point. But thing is that when we are calculating the moments, means for the forces, whatever point you are taken, the say about the same point you have to calculate the moment about the resultant also. Right? That is one point. And second point, all shall lie in same plane. Okay, about the point their plane equal to moment of their resultant about the same point. All shall be moment shall be calculated about the only one point. Okay, so this case, this is the most of the times it will be very useful point. Theorem it is. It will simplify our problems. Right. So this is called the Varignan's theorem. Okay, remember that Varignan's theorem. Okay. So this is a explanation for the Varignan's theorem. So here it is, how many forces are there? Total three forces are acting is here. Okay. So all of these are like parallel forces. Like parallel means all the forces are acting in the same direction, that is the downward direction. Means sense is here. Right. So nothing but like parallel forces. So what is the resultant? Obviously all these forces are acting, parallel forces are acting downwards, means obviously the resultant shall also be in the downward direction. It shall have the same sense as your forces in case of like parallel forces. Right. So it is acting, it will act downwards. Obviously it is acting downwards only, but where it acts, what is the point of, where is it, what is the line of action of this resultant? That we have to find out. Using this, we can use this, for this purpose we can use the Varignan's theorem. It's a very simple to calculate, if you use the Varignan's theorem. Using Varignan's theorem, we have to find out this where it is line of action, means from this force, for example, if from this force how much distance is this the resultant lies, or from this distance from this one, right? So we have to calculate, we can calculate using this Varignan's theorem. Right. So forces F2, F3 are the forces, and A1, A2 are the distances from the point P. Right. So from this point P, some point, one point, reference point here. Right. So explanation for coming to this one. So if forces is A1, A2 perpendicular distance from the point P, F is the resultant of all the forces. As we discussed, F is the resultant of all the forces. Right. A is the perpendicular distance of resultant force. Right. So A is distance, perpendicular distance. Let us say, for example, A is a perpendicular distance from the point P. Right. From the point P, the resultant lies at the line of action of your resultant is at a distance of A from the point P. Right. So this is what it is. Then according to the Varignan's theorem, so what is Varignan's theorem? Moment about P. Okay, we are calculating the moments about P using Varignan's theorem. We are applying the Varignan's theorem. for considering moment about point P. Right. So what is Varignane's theorem? Varignane's theorem states that if a number of forces are acting in a force system, the moments of forces of all these forces will be equal to, lying in the same plane, will be equal to the moment produced by the resultant about the same point. Okay. But your only thing is that you have to take the same point moments about the same points for the forces as well as for the resultant. That's what Varignane's theorem. Right. So F into A. Right. So let us go to the figure only. So here it is. We are calculating the moment about this point P. Right. Due to all the forces, including resultant. Right. So resultant equal. We are saying that moment produced by all the forces equal to algebraic sum of moments produced by all the forces equal to moment produced by resultant. First result, what is the moment produced by resultant? That's nothing but F into A. F is nothing but force resultant. Okay. So here is a resultant force magnitude is nothing but F. F into perpendicular distance is A. That's what given in the figure. Right. F into A is equal to F into A is nothing but moment produced by resultant force. Right. Is equal to then moments produced by all these forces. Moment produced by all these forces. So about this point, what is our moment producing again? So this force is equal to F1. F1, what is the moment creating? F1 into P. So in this case, what is F1 into AP is nothing but this is a point P. So point P about which we are calculating moment due to this force. So because of this one, what happens? This one is producing a moment. If it is downward acting means it will creating a moment like this in this direction. So what is the direction? So it's nothing but anti-clockwise direction. So this is producing anti-clockwise direction moment. Moment in the anti-clockwise direction. Right. So what is the moment? Moment is equal to what? This direction is anti-clockwise. And the moment, what is the magnitude? F1 into A. Force into perpendicular. Force is F1 and perpendicular distance is A1. Force into perpendicular distance. Right. So what is the magnitude of moment? F1 into A1 acting in the anti-clockwise direction. Right. So that is the first one. Second one, again F2. So about this point again, this will create an anti-clockwise moment. Right. So anti-clockwise means F1 and F2 will, because both are on same side of your point about which we are calculating, both will create a same type of moment. So this is also in anti-clockwise moment, and there is a magnitude is equal to force into moment is equal to what? Force into perpendicular distance. What is the force? F2. And what is the perpendicular distance? A2. So force into perpendicular, F2 into A2. So these are the moment produced by these two forces. Next one, what is the other force? Other force is F3. So F3 is nothing but, again, what is the moment produced at P due to this force? F3 is nothing but F3 into A3. Right? Force into perpendicular distance. But what type of moment it is producing? So this is on the right side. So because of this one, this will be creating this type of moment, this direction. So this direction. What is this one? Clockwise direction. Previously it is anti-clockwise direction. This is a clockwise direction. Right? So this is nothing but magnitude is nothing but F3 A3 and direction is nothing but clockwise direction. Now let us see. So we have to assume any sign convention. Assuming the sign convention. So in this case we are assumed that positive F1 into A1 is nothing but positive value. So it's nothing but anti-clockwise plus. So anti-clockwise moments are positive. Okay. When you say that anti-clockwise are positive means obviously clockwise moments means negative. That need not write again. Okay. If you write any one sign convention, that will be sufficient. Right. If you are saying that anti-clockwise is plus means it is self-understood that clockwise movement will be considered as a positive, negative, right? That's what you have to self-understood, right? F1, this is a resultant moment due to resultant F into A, and this is not for resultant. Sorry, moment due to moment produced by force F1 about the point P. That is nothing but F1 into A. And here we are asked what is sign convention assume? So positive for the anti-clockwise. That's why it is positive. Similarly, it is F2 into A2 for this force, F2 second force. The moment is nothing but it is again, this is also creating an anti-clockwise moment. So anti-clockwise means we are assuming it as a positive sign. Okay, we are giving this side positive sign. So why need always anti-clockwise? No need of no hard and fast rule. You can assume in reverse also. Clockwise positive, anti-clockwise negative. You can assume anything. But in this case, we are assumed like that. Right. This is producing an anti-clockwise movement. That's why it is also we are assuming as per our sign convention. So this is a positive. So apply the positive sign. Right. Next one. What is the third force? F3 into A3. So what is F3? Again, what is the movement produced by this one? This is a clockwise movement. Okay. As per about this point, this force for F3 will create a positive. Clockwise movement. So clockwise movement means negative. Right. So negative sign. Right. So this is nothing but sum of the algebraic sum of this is what, because why we are using algebraic why means these are placed, these are moments. That's why it is, we are saying that algebraic sum of moments. Right. Always careful, don't say the sum of moments. So it shall be algebraic sum of moment, all the moments created by all the forces is in that plane, lying in the plane about a point is equal to moment produced by resultant force about the same point. That's what we are saying. We are applying here. So F into A is equal to sum of moments produced by all the forces. Right. Similar, this is nothing but M. M about P. MP is equal to moment about the point P is equal to M1 moment produced by force P about point P, and moment produced by force 2 about point P, and moment produced by force 3 about point 3. So this is nothing but so it's nothing but sum. That's what this Varignan theorem states. Moment produced by or moment of forces of all the forces of all the forces lying in the same plane is equal to about a point is equal to moment of force by the resultant about the same point. That's what it is, Varignan's theorem. That's what you are verifying the Varignan's theorem. Okay, explanation. Varignan's theorem, applying the Varignan's theorem here. So using this theorem, sometimes if you want to know the where it is acting, resultant acting. If you have the resultant force, yeah, of course, you have the force system. 3 forces are given to you, right, and distance are given to you. So you can calculate the resultant because it is a we have already know the how to calculate resultant for different system of forces, right? So parallel force, collinear, land collinear, everything we know it, right? So for the how to calculate resultant already discussed, that is over. Now once you know the resultant, how to calculate the magnitude of the result, and the distance are given to you, right? So now you want to calculate the where this resultant lies, means line of action. You want to know the line of action of the resultant, so where it lies. So for that one you can use this Varignan's theorem. Okay, so use the Varignan's theorem, calculate the unknown A, right? So you can use the Varignan's theorem and calculate the A. Or if you if you want to know any unknown, if it is out of this one, it can be anything. You can calculate the unknown forces, unknown things, whatever it is, either force or resultant force or distance, anything you can able to calculate you applying the Varignan's theorem, right? So this is about application of Varignan's theorem. We have some problems, so many problems we have to solve for the parallel forces, and unlike parallel forces, like parallel forces, we have to calculate line of action using this Varignan's theorem, right? So this is what and next one. So if the system of forces is in equilibrium, then resultant will be zero. Okay, that's what we have discussed in the previous topics. Resultant is zero means the body will be, then only the body is said to be in equilibrium. For the or otherwise we can say that if a body is said to be in equilibrium condition, then resultant shall be zero. That's what the condition. Then in that case the movement becomes, you can say that in that case when the body is in equilibrium, then is equal sum of the moments is equal to zero. Okay, some of the forces shall be equal to zero and some of the moments shall be equal to zero. Means resultant shall be equal to zero or moment shall be equal to zero. For that, if at all the body or system of forces is in equilibrium condition, some moments may be positive and some moments may be negative. Okay, some moments may be positive, some moments may be negative, means we are giving the sign convention, that's all. Negative positive means we are giving the sign. There is no perfect if this is a force means is a negative moment, this is a positive, nothing that. We are giving the sign convention, whatever sign convention we give, we can adopt we have to adopt for the entire problem we have to adopt the same convention. That is only the thing is, some of the moments may be positive, some of the moments may be negative. For example, we are assigning a sign of clockwise moments, we are assigning, if you are assigning a positive, so there is nothing but some of the positive moments. For this anti-clockwise moments, if you assign a sign of negative, there is nothing but some of the negative moment that becomes. Similarly, so, or we can say that sum of the clockwise movements shall be equal to sum of the anti-clockwise movements. For equilibrium condition, sum of the clockwise movements shall be equal to sum of the anti-clockwise movements. R simply is nothing but just what is that sum of the clockwise movement is equal to sum of the anti-clockwise. What is this condition? If you take this other side, it's nothing but algebraic sum of moments, right? So the last condition is nothing but algebraic sum of moments equal to 0. That's what we have written here. Second point. Algebraic sum of moments is nothing but it is a sum of the clockwise movement is equal to sum of the anti-clockwise moments. That is, if a system of forces in equilibrium, the algebraic sum of moments of the forces almost any point will be equal to 0. Right? So, if a system of forces in equilibrium, the algebraic sum of moments of the forces almost any point will be equal to 0. That's what we have seen. Okay, that shall be, that condition has to be satisfied. Then only the body is said to be in equilibrium. This is called theorem of third moment of theorems. Right? So, what is first moment? We have discussed about the moment produced by any force about which passing through a point line of action. If it is lies in the line of action, the moment is equal to 0. That is the first one. Second one is nothing but Varigna's theorem. This is nothing but third one. That is, if a system of forces in equilibrium, means all the forces will be equal, means resultant equal to 0. Then the algebraic sum of moments of the forces almost any point will be equal to 0. That's nothing but sum of the moments is equal to 0. Algebraic sum of moment will be equal to 0. That's what the third one. Right? So we have seen that we have discussed the three moments. That is, the first one is if the point lies on the line of action of the force, then moment is equal to 0. That is the first one. Second one is Varignan's theorem. What is the Varignan's theorem states? So Varignan's theorem is nothing but if a number of forces, if a moment of all the forces in a system about a point is equal to, of course, not sum, it's the algebraic sum of all the moments of forces in a system of force is about a point is equal to, of course, lying in the same plane is equal to moment of force produced by resultant about the same point. Okay, that's what the second moment theorem. And the third one is nothing but algebraic sum of moments equal to 0. That is nothing but third one. Right. So algebraic sum of moments of the forces almost any point will be equal to about any point, not about almost about any point. This is not almost about any point will be equal to 0. It's a typographical mistake. It is not almost. It is about, okay. About any point will be equal to 0. That's what the third theorem of moments. This above statement is also called as the law of moments. Okay, law of moments. Third one is nothing but law of moments. Right. So these are the three moment theorems of moments. Very, very important fundamentals. Right. So if you forgot your this theorem, this means if you don't know this theorem means that's all. You are not a college and civil engineer at all. Okay, even for the mechanical also it is important. Next one is principle of moments. So what is principle of moment? It states that the moment of a force about any point is equal to the sum of the moments of the its component about the same point. Right. So this one is another one. So moment of force about any point is equal to, okay. So for example, if a force acting in, okay, a force is acting, right? So that we want to calculate a moment about that point. Right. So, for example, I will take a figure so it will be better understood. So, it is a force F is acting. Right. A force F is acting. So, at an angle with the theta with the horizontal. Okay. So, theta is the horizontal. I want to calculate the moment of this force, moment due to this force at some point. Okay. At some point. So, this is a point P about which I want to calculate the moment due to this force. Okay, so this force. So what I have to do? So I have to do for that one what we need. The moment is equal to moment of force about any point is equal to force into perpendicular distance. So what is the force here? F is the force. And what is the perpendicular distance? You have to calculate. right? So let us say this is the point here. For example, I am making, okay. So this is a line. If you want to calculate the perpendicular distance, this is not a perpendicular distance, right? So to calculate the perpendicular distance, extend this line of action in this direction, right? Then draw a perpendicular from the line of action of this fold to the point P. So this is nothing but perpendicular distance, right? So this is nothing but perpendicular distance. Sometimes this calculation of perpendicular distance, it will take some most of times, okay, most time very well. Sometimes it is very difficult to calculate. So in that case, we can apply this principle of moments. What is the principle of moments? Is nothing but first you divide this into two components, okay. So divide this into two components, then is nothing but f cos theta. So f cos theta and f sin theta. F cos theta and f I. So what you have to do, first step, divide this force into components. Okay. So components means two components, rectangle. Now calculate the moment at this point P, moment about this point P due to these components. Right. So this is nothing but your one thing. Let us say in your problem, it is given to you. Right. Let us say this is y and this distance is x. Okay. So this is x. So these are the distances known to you. But if you want to calculate this distance d, again a little bit difficult. Okay, unnecessary waste of time. So instead of just calculating perpendicular, directly you can use the principle of moments. What is this principle of moments means? It said that moment of force about any point is equal to the moment of force. Moment of force means moment of this force about any point means about this point is equal to moment of force, moments of the components, moments of the components of this force. Both are same. It will give the same effect. Okay. So it gives the same effect. Means if you calculate the moment due to this force, okay, let us say it is nothing but F into D. For example, F into D is equal to moment produced by these two components, F sin theta and F cos theta. Okay, moment produced by these two components will be same. That is nothing but your principle of moment. Both will be equal, right? So in that case, what is the moment produced by this force? For example, F into, so in this case, it is about this point, it is creating an anti-clockwise moment. So it is nothing but F sin theta, or simply it is, you can say that Fi. Okay, Fi into X, right? So this is anti-clockwise moment. Let us assuming a negative sign, right? Next one, F cos theta. So Fx, this is nothing but Fx. Fx is nothing but Fx cos theta. This Fx cos theta about this point, what is creating? About this point, if it is nothing but this will create a clockwise moment. Means it is, let us say, I am assuming it as a plus sign. So it is nothing but Fx into what is the distance? Distance is y. Okay. So there is nothing but this principle of moments. Moment produced by the moment of force about this point P for this case. Okay, moment of force about this point P is equal to moments by the moments due to components of this force. Okay, about the same point, but thing is that you have to take the same points. That's what this moment of force is. It states that moment of a force about any point is equal to the sum of the moments of its components about the same points. Okay, about the same points. So component means always need not be rectangular components. As per your convenience, you can take the components along the any direction, right? So if you have the distances accordingly, for the according to the distances available ready-made, you can take directions, components along the any direction. Okay, so component, always we had already discussed that component means need not be about only about particular direction. You can calculate the component of any force about any direction. Okay, there can be any number of components you can calculate, right? But of course, it will be some cases, most of the cases, it will be rectangular components will be very much simplify. It gives simple results. It's simply to analyze. So that's why we are dividing most of the cases is rectangular components. Rectangular means along the x-axis as well as along the y-axis. Okay, so these are nothing but principles of movements. So we have discussed about this, so very fundamental basic principles. So that is nothing but three theorems of movements as well as principle of movements. Now let us go to some basic problems to reinforce our whatever we have discussed. Reinforce means we so consolidate whatever discussion that is based on your theorems or principles, right? So we can apply these principles here. So we can consolidate our basics, fundamental principles. So the given figure shows a log gate on both sides of which horizontal forces act due to water pressure. Find the resultant force due to water pressure and the height at which the resultant acts. Okay. So figure shows the log gate on which both sides of which horizontal force act due to. Means it's a log gates. Log gates means generally it is in canals or reservoirs. Some cases gates are provided. Okay. So where gates are provided, the water may be both sides. Water may be present on both sides. Some cases. Okay. So it is a very bigger reservoirs. Of course, water will be only on upstream side. Okay. That is a different issue. But in this case, a log gate. So in this case, the water is present on both sides. Okay. So one is on one side it is up to a height of 1.5 meters with having a magnitude of 45 kilonewtons. And other side magnitude is 20 kilonewtons acting at a height of 1 meter above this base. Okay. Now what we have to find? Find the resultant force. Because of these two forces, we have to find the resultant. Okay. So again, which direction the resultant acts and what is the resultant force? Of course, this is what. This is nothing but one force is acting this side, one other force is acting this. Nothing but two are parallel because both are in a horizontal direction only at some height from the base. Both are is nothing but like parallel, unlike parallel forces. One is acting right side towards right, another acting towards left. One is like parallel forces. Obviously, the force will be in that direction only. We are having the direction as higher maximum magnitude, right? So means in this the force resultant will be in this direction. Okay, and position we have to find. So you can find out using our Varignas theorem. So resultant force is equal to difference of these two forces. Difference of forces means higher magnitude force with higher magnitude minus force with lesser magnitude. That's in 25 kilonewtons. Difference of these two. And which side it acts? Towards the left, because having the force having the maximum magnitude is it towards the left side direction. So that's why it is the resultant also will act towards the left direction. Okay. Right. So let this resultant force act at a height of h meters above from the base. For example, assume h at a height of h. We don't know what is h. Okay. So one force is acting 45 newtons acting at 1.5 meters and 20 kilonewtons acting at a height of 1 meter. But we don't know where it acts resultant. We know the magnitude that is equal to 25 kilonewtons, but we don't know height where it acts. Now let us calculate this height h where the resultant acts using Varignas theorem. Right. So algebraic sum of moments of both forces about the base is equal to moment of resultant of the force about the base. Now let us calculate moment about any one point, one reference point. In inadverse base, you can take any reference point about any one force or anything. You can take any one reference point, right? So what we have to calculate? What is the Varignas theorem states? So Varignas theorem states that algebraic sum of moments, all the moments of forces, moments of force, all the forces are in a system of force is about any one point is equal to moment of force by the resultant about the same point. That's what resultant. That's what it is. Moment of resultant of force is equal to moment algebraic sum of moments of both forces. In this case, two forces are there. That's why we are using both forces. Now let us calculate the moments. So 45 kilonewtons into diagram. Okay, I will take a figure here so that it will be easy. So figure is somewhere we are calculating somewhere means it is very difficult to add. So this is a one force is acting. Let us say this is 45 kilonewtons, right? So this is 45 kilonewtons. And what is the distance? The distance is 1.5 meters. Okay, so 1.5 meters. And another force is acting towards the right side and at a height of 1 meter. Okay, so this one is 20, right? So one is acting towards right side, another one is acting towards the right side. Dot. Now we know that we are resultant force already with the difference of these two, that is nothing but 45 minus 20, that is nothing but 25 newtons. Okay, 25 kilonewtons of course. Now let us assume that I'm assuming, I don't know any where it acts exactly, I'm just assuming. Okay, so assuming this resultant acts at a height of h meters above the base. So this is the base. Okay, so I'm drawing a line diagram. Previously it was a lav gate, it is with some width is there. I'm drawing a line diagram here, right? So this is nothing but your resultant. So what is the resultant magnitude? It is nothing but 25 kilonewtons. So these are the two forces, right? And this is nothing but resultant, right? Now we'll take the moments about the base, means this point, right? So this point base we have to result moment about this point base due to this all these forces. Now let us calculate. As per Varigna's theorem, what is that? Moment of resultant is nothing but moment of resultant about this point is nothing but 25 into h. That's what it is, 25 into h. Okay, so what direction it is acting about this point? This is creating an this direction moment about in this direction, which is anti-clockwise. Okay, so this is an anti-clockwise direction, right? And similarly, what is this one? So other forces, these are the resultant. Moment due to resultant force, moment due to resultant is equal to moments produced by both forces. Moment algebraic sum of moments, algebraic sum of moments produced by both forces. What is nothing but what is the one force? 45. Next, first take the 45. What is the moment at this point is equal to moment at this point due to this 45 is equal to 40 force into perpendicular. What is the force? 45. 45 into what is the perpendicular distance? So this is perpendicular. How to another day? The perpendicular means if you draw a line here, line of action of between the line of action of force and the point about this. It is nothing but 90 degrees. That's nothing but perpendicular. So perpendicular distance means this is the perpendicular distance. So 1.45 into 5. Again, which direction? It is also in this direction. Means anti-clockwise. Okay. So if you assume that anti-clockwise is positive, in this solution we are assumed that anti-clockwise as less, anti-clockwise moments as positive. So that's why you are given a positive sign here. How much? What is the moment? 45 into 1.5, right? That is also in anti-clockwise. Next, another force, that is 20 kilonewtons. 20 kilonewtons are acting in this direction. Okay, so opposite to previous two, clockwise. Okay, so this is anti-clockwise plus means clockwise means minus. That's why it is minus. And what is the magnitude? 20 into perpendicular distance. 20 into 1 clockwise. So you might give the minus sign. So one is anti-clockwise, one shall be plus, other shall be minus, right? So 45 into 1.5 minus 20 into 1. 45 into 1.5 means 67.5 minus 20 into 1 means 20, right? Equal to 25h. That will be same. And the difference was 47.5 equal to 25 into h, right? And h is equal to what? And from this one, h is equal to 47.5 divided by 25. That is equal to 1.9 meters. Okay, so h is equal to 1.9 meters. You got the height, right? So you got a positive sign here. It is okay. So in this case, you got a positive sign here. Means it is your distance got the positive sign. Means assumed direction is correct. Okay, we are assuming that it is the resultant lies here. If you got a minus means it will be resultant will be in this direction. Okay, the magnitude may be same, but it may act in this direction. Okay, or of course not like this. It will be act in this direction, something like this. Okay, the distance minus means it is in opposite direction. Okay, so this is about applying the Varigna's theorem here and finding the unknowns. This is one of the application of the Varigna's theorem. The magnitude of the resultant pressure is 25 kilonewton and it acts at a height of 1.9 meters above the base towards the left. Okay. Right. So this is about applying the Varigna principle of theorems of moments. Now, so in this class, what we have discussed. So in this class we have discussed about the different things, that is started with the theorem of moments, right? So again there are the three, we have discussed about the three theorem of moments, right? And next one is discussed also about the principle of moments, and next we are applied the Varignas theorem and solved the problem. Now let us see one more problem based on this one, Varignas theorem only. Right. So this is a system of forces like parallel forces. Means all are acting in the same direction, downward direction. All these four forces will have the same direction. Next, below is system of unlike parallel forces. So one is upward, one is downward, one is upward, one is different. All are positive only, but sense is different. Okay. Some of them are downward, some of them are upward. Now let us see the resultant, how to calculate the resultant of a like parallel forces. Okay. So this is two like parallel forces. This is nothing but two parallel forces P and Q, and the distance between them is A. Distance between two forces is A. Okay, two parallel forces, like parallel, not unlike parallel. Then what is the resultant? So obviously the two like parallel forces both will act in downward direction. Means like resultant will be in the downward direction only. So let that resultant R is equal to P plus Q. Okay. So there is nothing but P plus Q. R is equal to P plus Q. Right. R is equal to P plus Q. Right. So resultant is equal to let the resultant be at a distance of x from A. Nothing but let x, for example, x from this point. Okay. X from this means another notation from the another point. Right. X from here. Taking the moments about, but we don't know x, we don't know y. We have to calculate. Using how to calculate? Again, same thing. Use the Varignas theorem. Okay, use the Varignas theorem. Calculate the distance x, right, or y. You can calculate anything as per our requirement. Now calculate the. So apply the Varignas theorem. What is the Varignas theorem? So Varignas theorem states that the moment of resultant force is equal to moments of algebraic sum of all the moments of forces. That's what the Varignas. Simple words. Moment of resultant force about the point is equal to moments of the algebraic sum of all the moments of forces about the same point. It's very simple. So resultant R into X is equal to about which point we are calculating. So we are calculating the moment about the P. So that's why it is, what is the moment about due to this force is nothing but Q into A. That is Q into A and P into 0, because again first theorem of moments. If this point of about which we are calculating the moment lies on the line of action, the moment produced by the force is equal to 0. That's what is the first theorem. Right? Varignas theorem is second theorem. Is equal to Q into A. So X is equal to what? Q by R into A. Right? X is equal to Q by R into A. Right? What is R? R is equal to P by Q. P plus Q. Sorry. And what is A? A is nothing but again X plus 1. Similarly, Y is equal to A minus X. Again, this is like this simplification. Similarly, ultimately, what we get? X by Y is equal to Q by P. X by Y is equal to Q by P. Right? Is inversely proportional. Thus, resultant divides the distance between the two forces in the inverse ratio of their magnitudes. Okay, inverse ratio. Resultant divides the distances between the two forces in the inverse ratio of their magnitude. Means very simple. Inverse ratio means the resultant will be near to the point having the maximum magnitude. Obviously, okay, resultant will be closer to the force which having the maximum magnitude. That's what the resultant divides the distance between the two forces in the inverse ratio. Inverse ratio means more opposite. Okay, so inverse ratio of the magnitude. So this word about to find the resultant distance of like parallel forces. Okay, next class let us discuss about the how to find out the resultant position of the resultant for the unlike parallel forces. Okay, so let us stop here.